keep it rolling. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh,
I'm just so nervous. I'm just so
know.
nervous about today's topic.
Me too. Love is in the air.
Love is in the air.
And
welcome everyone to the Men of Doozy podcast.
Guys, you're probably wondering what the hell does that even mean?
All right. Well, the word doozy means something that is extraordinary or outstanding of its kind, Kirk.
And we are not that.
But dear God, we want to be so bad.
So bad. So this is the podcast that we are going to give you all the tools that you need to become successful in life.
And the best part is we're going to teach you how to be successful while we also learn how to be successful at the same time.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. I'm Alex Staub.
And I am Kirk Koz.
Kirk,
welcome, everybody.
Kirk, what are we talking about today?
Well, this is a very special month and a special week. It's the first episode of our February dating and relationship series. We're going to talk about how to go on a first date.
I'm nervous. But I'm not.
Are
nervous.
you though? You're
I'm
not
excited.
nervous.
I love
Listen,
first dates.
listen.
I love first dates. But
I know.
But this episode is extra special because we have a guest. We have a guest who is going
do.
to teach us how to go on a first date. She's a dear friend. You may know her from the Better as Friends podcast. She was my co-host, Maureen Shepard.
Wow. Hi, guys. Thanks for the intro.
Woo!
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us, Maureen.
So excited to hear
Yeah.
all the wisdom that you have because I personally I don't go on very many first dates because
Well, let me ask. Have you gone on a first date before? Do you go on first dates a lot?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I actually am a recovering serial monogamist. I've been in relationship after relationship, so I
I'm the complete opposite.
And you're the
man.
complete opposite.
Right.
So that's what's going to make this first episode of this month like so interesting because I'm going from a place that I really don't know what I'm doing. I think back on dates and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't even know how I got that many girlfriends in the first place.
Right. It was probably the shirt.
It was the shirt, yeah. I was like, listen, I got you flowers. They're on my shirt, so I guess you're going to have to take me home.
You look like you're enjoying yourself. You're going to like an Italian restaurant or something. I look
Something
like
that.
I look like I'm about to do a hit for the mob.
Yeah,
for sure.
With the bald head and the beard.
I look like I'm in the Russian mafia right now.
You really do. But what I am really interested is
I'm here to learn.
I'm here to learn.
Yeah, I'm here to learn.
I know you have a lot of more experience than I do. I have like zilch, so I'm really excited. But Maureen, why don't you tell us a little bit about
how to go on a first date?
Have you been on a first date? What?
I've been on a lot of first dates, mostly because I think I don't really have any kind of type. So I really need to get to know someone, and I don't have a physical type, so I can't just look at the app and be like you, because someone that I may like on an app, I would meet them in real life and be like, oh, no, thank you. So I do a lot of those first dates to feel it out.
I feel like that must be a blessing and a curse to be like, I can love anybody.
Yep. It's a problem. It's more of a problem.
It's true. It's true. There's got to be some kind of boundaries, right?
Yeah. I mean,
well, and I've made the joke about this to her on our podcast. But I'm like, okay, so so what about someone who's like 600 pounds and has, no legs? You know what I mean? And you're like that's the boundaries. Okay.
There are limits. I say no physical type because if you line them all up, it would be like the game of Guess Who. But that's why I need to be in person with somebody, because when I'm in person with somebody, I can immediately tell either we're going to be friends and that's great, or maybe there's something there, or no, thank you, glad to move on.
Right. You got to meet in person to feel it out.
I totally agree with what you're saying. I feel like I'm like an old-fashioned type of person too. I like acquaintance meeting or just in-person stuff. It seems more organic and more, I don't know, special.
To see what that person is like what their body language is like, how they talk to the waiter, do they look at their phone during your day? Simple things that sound wild, but if you're gonna date this person, you want to know those things to me sooner rather than later. I don't want to spend a month and a half texting you, FaceTiming you, talking to you, then meet up and be like super disappointed. Like,
and you got catfished. Yeah.
Have you, wait. Before we move on, have you been catfished before on a first date?
I've never been catfished like by their looks, but I have been catfished by height.
By height.
The height.
Oh, no.
Well, we're in the 6 foot club.
Yeah,
Thank
so we're,
God.
Thank God. Thank you.
Goodness, right?
Thank you, Jean.
Very tall. I'm 5'8" for a girl, which is taller. Yeah. So I had a guy once on an app. This is before Hinge like not made you put your height, but the option was there. Now you know if you go on Hinge and no one's height's on there, you're like, he's short.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy didn't have his height on there. I didn't know, and I'm not kidding. I was sitting in I got there early. I also
and he rolled into the bar and he kind of like tugged on your shirt. Hi, excuse me. He tugged on your shirt.
Are
Hello?
you Maureen?
Are you Maureen?
It was weirder because I also randomly on most first dates, I do kind of like to get to the place before the other person. Just because I have a little bit of social anxiety. So I like, if I'm going to a spot I've never been to before, I kind of want to know where the bar is. I kind of want to get there 5 minutes before, be seated and be like, hey, I'm wearing the white sweater. So they have to do the awkward look for me.
Right.
That's
right. You need to know your entrances and exits before yeah.
Women.
You need to know the surroundings before. Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Smart.
I applaud you for that because women definitely need to know that stuff.
Yeah.
You have all your codes.
I was sitting at the bar. I was on the stool. I had worn boot heels, nothing wild. And he came in and I stood off the chair to hug him. I'm not kidding. He hugged me in like his.
Oh no! Mama! No! Oh
no!
Oh, did you give him a little pat? A little pat on the head? Oh, give him a little pat. You're like, we'll find your mom.
You're like, this is how this is gonna go. We're gonna need you to get.
Mom. I'm looking for your dad. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Listen, doesn't mean that it would have never worked out. It was just an odd foot to start off on. You were just like, okay.
Right.
But maybe a few, 1 or 2 feet
maybe
off.
a couple feet to stand off of.
Listen,
have you ever dated a shorter guy?
I've not dated like a shorter guy, but the idea that I think a lot of women have, which is like if they're under 6 foot, I'm like, and women, no offense, women who are like 4'11" or 5 foot will say that, or I'm like, yo, the 5'7", 5'8" guys, that's your target audience. Like, what? They're the ones that want a tall guy. Right. But for me, no, I've dated guys that have been like 5'11", 6 foot, which like where I'm wearing heels, we're like about the same height, or I'm a little taller than them.
So they're always like the same height as you. Or like they're always been a little taller than you, under 6 feet, but still a little taller than you.
Yeah, still a little bit taller than me.
All right, so
yeah, I think the shortest guy was ever like 5'10".
So would you date a shorter guy?
I mean, yeah, like I said, no type. Like honestly, if it was like this is my person, and I was like love my life, boom, like yeah. Like I said, I don't really. It doesn't bother me. But I just think it needs to be something up front.
Now let me stop. Okay, I think that's code
let me. So, I mean, height-wise, is there a limit to the height being shorter? Or do you don't got no type?
I mean, I would say, obviously, like, if I'm really being honest, if they're like 5'4" or 5'5" and like a legitimate head shorter than me, it's a little odd. Nicole Kidman, I give her props. She and Keith Urban look great together. I don't know how she does it.
Oh, it's probably the money.
I was about to say, I think it's code for they have money.
They have money. He straps some money to his feet.
She agrees. Yeah. This is making me really excited. I'm so excited to learn.
There's so many different experiences to have on a first date. I'm ready to jump into this and learn from and figure this out.
Let's do this, guys. Yeah. These are the 5 top tips on how to go on a first date. Number 5. Don't overthink sex on the first date. If it happens or it doesn't, it's not a real barometer if something will work out or not. And sex is a huge part of a relationship, so it's good to know sooner rather than later.
Right. Yeah. Don't think about it. If it happens, it happens. But don't, put it off till like the 20th date or something like that.
Yeah, don't be weird like that. Come on, it's 20.
Right, because then you waited all that time.
2021.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask. Is there there's like the whole rule don't sleep on the first date or something like that? Like, I mean, there are times when I've been on first date and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I'll wait a second. I want to get to know a little more. And then there are times where I'm like, please.
Also, there's got to be a way to like read that from somebody,
right.
You know, to be able to be like.
I also think rules in dating, they're I don't like the standard rules in dating or any rules in dating because every situation is different. So when I say don't overthink sex on the first date, it's just sometimes you have sex on the first date or the second date and then you date that person for 2 years and it's wonderful. Sometimes you meet someone and you guys don't have sex till date 4 or 5 and the whole time you're like, oh God, are they not attracted to me? Both people are thinking that or you're what? And then that also works out too. There's just no right or wrong way to do it. But I do agree that sex is a really important part of a relationship. So I think a lot of people sometimes, especially when you're not seeing someone as much, you're talking to them, you're getting to know them, you're spending a lot of time and you don't know if you have that sexual chemistry. And you're going to need to know that because at the end of the day, you could fall in love with someone and really like them as a person, but you need to want them too. That has to happen. It has to be.
Yeah. You gotta be satisfied physically. That's also what defines a relationship is the physical part. Right?
It's definitely one of the biggest
Otherwise,
parts.
Kirk and I are in a relationship.
I think one of the big things that I'm reading from this first tip is that, hey, you are not gonna be able to think about anything else for a little while you're meeting them, but just forget about it. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Because it's really hard, I think, on a first date not to think about it.
Right? And especially if there's sexual tension, then you're like, okay, and you'd be able to read that.
And
But it's if we this is a rule for guys. It's weird. If we go out thinking we're not gonna have sex that night, we usually end up having sex that night. And if we go out trying to have sex, we will not have sex that night.
It's the same thing for girls. Well, I will literally be like, I'm not shaving my legs. I'm not having sex tonight. And then you're like, damn.
I wish I shaved my legs. Yeah.
Damn it.
Damn it.
This sorceress. How did she do it?
Damn it. I guess I have to braid my leg hair now. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah, if it happens, it happens.
Perfect.
Easy. Let's move on here. Number 4. Always pay on the first date, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You asked, you pay, buddy. But ladies, always offer to split or buy a round if you go to another spot. It's a gesture that guys really appreciate. This is 100% true.
Yeah.
If I ask you out, I have no... I mean, I assume I'm going to pay because I'm like, hey, I'm asking you out. Let's go out. Have some fun. But if we bar hop a little, if we go one place, and then bar hop a little bit, and the girl is like, "Oh, I got this round," it's a simple gesture, but it's honestly a turn on.
I was about to say it's hot
Yeah.
when somebody does that. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I get to drop the Prince Charming. I can do every single thing for you at every single moment.
Yeah.
That's hard to keep up sometimes if you can't.
Yeah. Have you ever been on a date where you got asked and offered to split it and then ended up having to actually split it?
And he was like, yeah, that would be great.
And that was our only date. Because here's the thing. I have been in situations where we've gone on 1 or 2 dates and then I suggest the third hangout. If I suggest hey, I want to go see this movie. Do you want to come with me? I would get our movie tickets because it's my idea.
Yeah.
You asked me to go for drinks. It's your idea. I assume you're paying. I will always offer because I think that also that little moment I've learned over the years with men, they also, most men, not this guy, most men like that moment of no, never, I'm paying. You could never, they like that. They like that feeling.
I've been in, I'll usually pay for everything, but then if they offer.
Oh.
Okay.
Staub was like,
I thought she looked right at me.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. But
said, this guy.
this guy, This guy with the blazer and the bald head. No, I wasn't talking about you.
Hey, I know people, okay?
But I think it's good. But I think that also, like, the girls, to me, that, like, never offer and expect, like, the first 3 dates to be paid for, I feel like you're setting up a weird dynamic in your relationship, because you're going to date and you should split stuff while you're in a relationship. It's going to be a team. It's going to be 50-50. Some people want to be in that, like, king, queen, I'm waited on hand and foot. Like, that's fine. I just think it's antiquated.
Oh, my gosh. Maureen, that was my last relationship. I had to do everything, and it's tiring at a point where it's like, what weight are you pulling in for us to have a good time when we go out? It was like a frustrating thing, and it was a thing that I think can easily turn off some people if it's not, like, reciprocated in some way.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know,
especially if if they are obviously, like, I don't mind if I'm taking you. Now, is there a difference between, like, you going out with a girl and then she is just obviously taking advantage of that fact that, she goes out and just orders everything and is just like, screw you kind of mentality, just doing whatever she wants and whatnot? Like, do you still pay for it, or do you try to split it, or is there a rule for the guy on the guy's side? What red flags?
You have to know, like, I think you also have to know when you're dating. My brothers used to tell me this a lot. Like, you have to have your own little budget in your head. Like, okay, if I'm going to take a girl out, like, this is the max of probably what it's going to be. And, like, you never want it to be that. But if it is, you're just like, fuck, that sucked. I did not want to spend $200, but damn it, fine. Sometimes that happens. But I think those are things that you should clock. If someone's looking at a menu with no regard for anything on your first date, that may be just the world that they've come from, but it's like that compatible with the way that you look at things. Maybe not. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. That's super helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Pay on the first date, and I like that.
Pay on the first date.
Yeah.
Also, like, kind of like an unspoken rule of, like, women, reciprocate if you can, because it's gonna go a long way, and if you like the guy, if you do that, oh my gosh, the guy's gonna like you extra.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. You buy me a drink, I will love you forever.
I will love you forever.
I will love you forever.
We can go back and forth for days if I know you're gonna do that for me. Guys, number 3 is talk on the phone before that date. Ooh. Even if it's briefly, it will just make things feel more at ease, and the first date jitters will be less.
This is a bad. This is something that I need to follow, because I've been catfished so many times, without, like, talking to people or It's usually from the dating apps, and I'm like, wow, the pictures look great. The conversation over text is great. They show up, they look nothing like their pictures. And the chemistry is completely off whack. And then I'm sitting there, and I'm like, well, damn it, I invited you out, now I gotta pay for everything. And it's like, whew. And then she's ordering everything on the menu, and then you're like,
because she's 600 pounds.
600 pounds. And no, definitely get them on the phone. And if they won't get on the phone with you, then you don't want that. You're glad you should be glad you did that.
Yeah, when I was reading this, I felt, well, like, no duh, of course. Like, of course. I don't know why it's like reading it. It's like, it seems like so distant for something that people would do because they just want to communicate through a screen instead of, like, actual human voices. But it seems like old-fashioned, but also, like, the way to go. Have you ever like, what would you recommend as a way to segue into, like, a phone call with somebody? How would you tackle this?
It's hard. You can do it really briefly, where it's like, I mean, sometimes it's hard if there's not an opening in the conversation, because sometimes you're just texting a lot. And I think it's also something you can ask when you're texting early on, like, are you a phone call person or a texter person? Like, just because you're trying to get to know them. Because I implemented this rule because there are a lot of people I learned, especially when online dating came around, that hate talking on the phone. Like, they just hate it. Like, and sometimes I know 2 people in a relationship like that, where they both hate it. But I think, like, for me, I like it. It's really, I'm a terrible texter, like, really bad. So I need it. So that was like good for me to know. And then I will actually give some credit to guys that I've gone out with. I've had a lot of guys, especially during like Corona times, like a day before we're going to meet up, be like, hey, like, do you mind if I give you a call tonight? Just something really brief, which may sound odd, but then you just hop on the phone and you just chat for a little bit. So that way it just feels, you get a sense for how the conversation's going to go. It's just a little precursor. Sometimes it's simply just asking like, hey, you want to hop on the phone later tonight? Like when you're done with work, something super simple.
Yeah. And then you're like, and then you get out the phone. You're like, I am definitely having sex on the first date now. Those vibes were off the charts. Well, has there ever been a situation where you didn't talk before a date on the phone and you wish that you should have?
Because their voice was...
Yeah, it wasn't this guy's voice. He just was, Alex knows me very well. Kirk, I'm sure you're learning in the last 20 minutes. When I can talk a lot. Like, I could talk to a tree. I'm fine.
I've seen it. The sexual tension, I will say, was astronomical.
This guy had a very like slow cadence, the way that he spoke, and he was very careful with how he chose his words. All great things, but my nervous tick when someone doesn't talk a lot is just to talk more. So then I felt like the whole first date, I was just yapping away just because this guy was slower. And maybe if I would have known that, we would have had a little bit of a better balance. Not that it probably would have worked out, but I feel we did not go on a second date. And it wasn't totally because I didn't want to. I think he was like, you're nice, but like not for me.
Yeah, you don't...
But if you talked to him over the phone, he would have been like, hello? He would have been like, hello. How?
You don't want to...
You
don't want to go on a first date with a
Tonight,
sloth.
I'm excited to go out with you tonight. Oh yeah, I'm so excited! I can't wait to see you there. It's gonna be so great. We're gonna go with this. What do you want to order? There's so much food. I got all these drinks. I'll pay for half.
It's a sloth and a cheetah having
I am totally having sex tonight.
I am going to fuck her so fast.
That would have been interesting. If like the opposite, like if we had ever slept together and it
physically was slow too. Going to like grab his water.
What timeline am I in?
How was?
He keeps talking when he's drinking.
Yeah. Mid-drink. All right. All right, next one.
Moving on.
Look, don't get catfished. Talk on the phone before. Okay?
Yeah.
You'll be safer.
You'll
be safer.
And also it seems like it's probably like a little bit deeper of a connection than just chatting back.
You'll feel more comfortable for sure. And you'll be like, wow, this girl definitely talks to trees. So you just gotta know. You just gotta know these things. Okay, number 2. We're in the top 2, baby. You ready?
I'm ready.
Number 2, pick a place that's in between both of your apartments, or if you pick a spot that's closer to your place, it's because it means something special to you that you want to share with that person. Yeah. No, because I've been in situations where this girl wanted to go out with me, and she lived like an hour away, something like that. Ugh. And she just wanted to go out like near her place, and I was like, okay, well, if the date doesn't work out, then I'm talking about sex. Then I have to drive an hour home, and I don't mind that, but I also like, do I want to put in that work to go an hour out there? You know what I mean?
Meet halfway.
Yeah. Meet a halfway point. So this way, it's like you know that they're putting in as much effort that you are, right?
Yep. Unless like if you're both coming from work and your offices are kind of whatever the scenario is, meet halfway. It'll always be appreciated. Or if there is something like a spot that you love, like I've had guys before be like, this bar is really cool and I think that you would love it. They make these like really dope drinks. It's kind of near me. I know it's a little further for you, but just think it'd be a fun experience. I'm way less put off by that if they're picking a place thoughtfully than if they're just picking a bar around the corner from their apartment and I don't know and I travel 40 minutes and they've traveled 7. I'm pissed.
Has that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Has that ever happened to you?
No. The only like handful of dates have been like halfway. Yeah.
When I lived in New York, I lived in Bushwick. I matched with this guy on Bumble. He picked a bar on the Upper East Side. So just imagine that train route. That's a long train ride. I went on the date not knowing where he lived. First off, I got off the train. He was on the street on the phone with someone else. Just put down the phone and was just like, yo, you my Bumble date? And I was like, oh, whoa, let's yell it.
What?
I was like, so, also I have a name. She's like, this is not going off to a good.
Hi, yeah, my name is Bumble Date.
Hey, you my Bumble date? You my next?
Oh my
Get inside.
God.
I'll see you in a second. Wow.
What in the world?
And then when the date ended, which was not great, he was like, do you want me to get you an Uber home? Which I thought was a nice offer because he knew that. Then he remembered I lived in Brooklyn. And I was like, oh, sure. I was like, where are you going? And he's like, oh, I'm like half a block down.
Oh my gosh. I actually...
He pulls out a sleeping bag and pillow in the restaurant.
He's like, yeah, great to meet you.
Great to meet you. I'm actually in my apartment. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, oh wow.
What a jerk.
Wow.
Hey, you my Bumble date?
Yes, nice to meet you, Bumble Date. Your name? Wow. That's...
Did you go on a second date?
No, but what was really odd, we didn't go on a second date naturally, but that next week he texted me during the week and was like, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, oh, I'm not sure yet. What about you?
You should have said, I'm still going back. I'm still on my way
I'm
back.
still on my way home.
I'm still on my way home for burger.
This opportunity. Damn it. That would have been so good.
That was a good one.
Could you Venmo me $50?
Yeah.
Graduated from Columbia and he was like, it's like Columbia Parents Weekend. My parents are in town. Do you want to come to an event with us? And I was like, first off, terrible second date idea. Even if the first one had gone well, and the first one did not go well. So no, I'm okay. I'm not going to do that.
What a weird guy.
Mom, Dad, this is Bumble Date. Things are getting pretty serious.
Pretty serious.
She came the date is 6 hours. Here's the train. 6-hour train ride. Oh my God. Dear God.
Yeah, this is helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we on the number 1 tip now?
We are. Guys, we've made it to the number 1 tip. How to go on a first date. Are you ready?
I know what not to do.
I'm learning quite a lot. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's jump in. The number 1 tip is do it on a weekday.
Okay.
It takes the pressure off. If it goes great on a Tuesday and you want to see each other again, perfect. If not, you didn't use up a Friday or a Saturday, and you can just move on.
Smart.
Fridays and Saturdays are...
For the boys.
They're sacred.
Yeah, exactly. If you go on a Monday and it sucked and you're like, wow, okay, it's not, I didn't waste my Saturday night. You know what I mean? That's smart. Plan it well.
You gotta be, it feels like...
There's pressure on a weekend date. It's like you only get 2 nights to have fun, and then you're giving it to this one person, and if it doesn't go well, you're like, fuck, that sucked.
Exactly.
Yeah, it feels like a down the line date, like multiple dates later, and it's like, ooh, maybe I really like this person. I'll fit her into the schedule on Friday.
Yeah, because then if it hits it off on Monday and you want to see that person again, you could be like, yeah, let's hang out. You're worth a Saturday night. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Also, you can keep them shorter, because like a first date, ideal first date, you don't want to be there for 4 hours, but a magical first date you are, which at that point is great. But if it's an hour and a half and you're still feeling each other out, then you on a Tuesday, if you're like, hey, I'm so sorry, I really do have to work early, but I enjoyed this, it doesn't feel like a slough off, even if it is a little bit.
Because we have our lives and all that stuff.
I got to work in the morning, and I have a 3-hour drive home because you live on top of the restaurant.
Well, listen, I thought this went great. I'd love to see you on Saturday because I know your name's not Bumble Date. And I'm going to find what it is.
Yeah, it's Bumble Girl. Yeah.
Bumble Girl.
E-girl for short, you know?
Yeah.
Respect your week.
Yeah.
And
respect
other people's. I mean, kind of.
Exactly. Now, has there ever? But let me tell you this though. You go out on a date on Monday, right? And then say you hit it off, and then and you end up doing the deed. That Monday sex date, it hits different than a Saturday night.
You're like, it
hits different.
The best Monday of my life.
The best Monday. Mondays ain't so bad. Yeah.
Monday sex is not bad. A Monday first date might be like, are you your best self on a Monday? Think about that.
Maybe like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, maybe.
Oh man,
Thursday's your wild card because Thursday things can get a little wild sometimes because people don't work as much on Friday. So if you really like her, you give her a Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, I think are the go-to. Monday, sometimes a Monday date can surprise you. Most Mondays, we're just trying to get it over with.
Now this whole upcoming week, I'm going to be thinking about when am I my best self?
Yeah.
I got to show my best self off.
Yeah. It's not a Monday.
It's definitely not a Monday, usually.
It's not a Monday. Yeah. No.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, hey, those are the top 5 tips.
We did it. These are the top 5 tips, baby. We have the tools how to go on a first date.
That's it. We got don't overthink the sex, okay? Let it happen. We got always pay on the first date. But ladies, buy me a drink, okay? Because I'm going to buy you a drink, okay? Talk on the phone because you don't want them showing up and being like, hello.
Hi, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I am
Are you Bumble Date?
So nice
Are you Bumble Date?
Meet you.
Are you Bumble Date? What do you want to drink? Okay? Pick a place that's in between you so that you're not driving to Canada and the date sucks. Okay?
And then do it on a weekday. Preferably not Monday, but if you do.
Find your best day.
Find your best day of the week to do a date.
But don't sacrifice those weekends.
Because they're for the boys.
They're for the boys. There you go. Well,
oh my gosh.
First of all, a big thank you to Maureen Shepard, baby.
Thank you.
Do you have any final closing thoughts on first dates?
Or anything to add?
Oh, I mean, you're going to go on a lot of them in life, so just enjoy it. Like, I can't even count how many I've been on. So just, especially I would say, maybe to make it topical and timely, like just because Corona doesn't mean you can't find love. Go on dates, virtual ones. When you're allowed to go in person wherever you live, do it. Like, get tested a week before, make sure you're good. It's doable, and you just never know.
I love that. It's very uplifting.
I love that too.
Gotta end it on a high note, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Maureen, is there any stuff you want to shout out? Your social media?
You want to plug your social media? Where can everyone
find
you?
Different things.
I am not going to plug my social media.
That's okay.
That's fine.
You're not getting a second date.
It's just a bunch of pictures of her making out with trees anyway.
I can't say that the follow request is worth the content, you know?
That's right. No, that's perfectly
okay.
fine.
That's okay. We totally respect that.
Well, you know where you can find us? YouTube, baby.
YouTube, subscribe.
Podcast, subscribe to that shit.
Definitely share this with your friends. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google, I believe Pandora,
treehuggers.com,
treehuggers.net,
sponsored by Bumble Date. Yeah.
Guys,
if you have a crazy first date story, tell us. Let us know.
Let us know. Or if you have a tip that you think is going to help us to learn how to go on a first date, shoot us a DM.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me, too.
Guys, visit us on Instagram. That's where all the fun is happening.
And another thank you to Maureen Shepard, baby.
Maureen Shepard, baby.
Woo!
We love you guys. Go find love.
Go
on
find
that
some
first
love.
date.
Go on. Get on out of here.
Get on out of here.
I'll meet you halfway.
Spread that love. Love you guys.